All right, what's up, y'all? We're back here at the General's Report. We have our long. This is probably my furthest visitor I ever had. They came all the way from Alaska. You know, they came down to play a couple of games this week in Connecticut, and the first stop was in New Haven, Connecticut. So we're gonna get to know the coach and his son and his players. Get to talk a lot about what they have going on, and and their adventures coming down and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. All right. What's up, y'all? We're back here at the General's Report. As I said, we have visitors from Alaska. They came all the way down to play some games here in Connecticut. Thanks to Brian Heron, Post University, and stuff like that for hooking us up with it. So we're joined here by the coach, Roland
Hepa,
and his son, Kamaka Hepa. See, my names are getting, I'm getting my name game right now.
thank you for having
I just want
us.
to thank you guys for coming down, as well as you. You got a lot better from what I seen last year, a little bit stronger, and stuff like that. So what was the whole point of your trip, from the beginning to come down?
Well, like you said, last year, you seen us last year, and we basically are selecting kids from our high school, which we only have one high school in our town. And we select high school student athletes that are interested in furthering their education at the next level. Post University, the head men's basketball coach is a very good friend of ours. And so that's how it all got started. And conversations led to planning, and planning led to confirmation, and everything panned out, everything worked out.
So, being that you guys came all the way from Alaska, what part of Alaska are you guys actually coming from? For those who, because I obviously don't know where you're coming from. But what part of Alaska are you guys coming from?
We come from, our name of our town is Barrow, Alaska, and it is the northernmost city in the northern hemisphere.
So does that mean I can look out the window and I'm at the North Pole, or what is that? What's the closest?
We are close to, well, I don't know if we'd be the North Pole.
It was Santa Claus.
Yeah. Point Barrow, Alaska is actually the northernmost point in the United States. And we'd have to get there by either four-wheelers in the summer or a snow machine during the spring and winter time.
To get to your town?
To the farthest point, which is called Point Barrow, Alaska. Yeah.
Okay. So how far are you guys from the actual capital? The capital is Anchorage, right?
The capital is Juneau, and I don't know the distance from Juneau to Barrow, but the major hub there is Anchorage, Alaska, and it is 750 miles from where we live, from our town.
Wow. Okay. All right, so Coach, being that you guys are way up, like you said, at the top of Alaska and stuff like that, how is the talent level, or how do you gauge your talent level to those of players in the United States?
Initially, what we did, coming from a small community, once we peak at being the best in our community, it's hard for us to gauge how good we actually are until we actually travel out to the major cities. And that's the way we actually started. We took some of our boys that we have here today. We've been taking them out, traveling to the major cities since they were probably third, fourth, and fifth grade, and now they're all in high school. So the way we actually gauge their development is, in the beginning, what we did see and we did find is that when we did bring them out to play against a competition in the major cities, we were, you could see the ability level, and a lot had to do with the terms bigger, stronger, faster. And it started, like I said, it started in the major cities within Alaska, and we were able to get our kids, developed to where we are able to compete with the other kids of their age in the major cities. And when I say major cities in Alaska, I'm referring to Fairbanks and Anchorage. And so, we were able to accomplish that, and now the past 4 years, I believe, or so, what we have done as a community, by the way, what we have done is we've stretched it further to the lower 48. Recently, we've taken our kids to a few college team camps, And the school of our size, when we compared the school of our size playing against some of the schools that's the same size in the lower 48, we are able to hold our own. But when we see when we're out there, we always see the elite level players, and we try to use that as an incentive. We travel out and we see, we talked about Mustafa Haram. When we see kids like that, and some of our kids are in awe. Even myself as a coach, I'm in awe when I see kids of that ability.
So when you because again, I have to ask questions like a 3-year-old. When you refer to the lower 48, what are you referencing to?
The lower 48 would represent the continental United States, which is the United States minus Hawaii and Alaska.
So being that you guys, like you said, you go engage your talent against those different major cities and stuff like that. What about in terms of AAU? Do they have AAU up there, or do you guys, how do they have AAU, or they just play travel teams, or how does that work?
AAU is not established in Alaska, at least to the best of my knowledge. What does happen is during the course of the summer months, there is different organizations that they put together competitive teams to travel out. They join the AAU membership, and they go out and they participate in AAU sanctioned tournaments. Let's see.
So as far as the summer months, right? We're gonna jump around, but as far as the summer months and stuff like that, what are the summer months considered in Alaska?
Summer months are probably considered, in my opinion, July.
You guys laugh. What
Well,
July is not.
July is like the only time where it's kind of like warm. Hot.
What do you mean by warm?
Yeah, what is warm in Alaska?
Like 40 degrees, or not in Alaska, but where we're from is like 40 or 50 degrees. That's like hot almost.
Well, and that's what I'm saying here. I'm looking at your dad got on shorts and stuff like that. He came to the game. He wasn't playing, so you played. You obviously can have on shorts. So for you to come out here and it's 55 degrees, this is July for you?
Oh, this is awesome weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. We love it.
So now for you, now that because obviously YouTube and everything is up that way and stuff like that, and of course NBA, which starts tonight. What are some of the players that you kind of follow and you watch and stuff like that you kind of mimic your game after?
Like in the NBA or?
Yeah, NBA.
Kevin Durant, I like how he plays. He can score and he's like tall, like 6'10".
How tall are you?
6'7".
Okay. So do you guys like cable-wise and everything? Like, how does that work with the NBA? Is it everything the same? NBA TV, HBO, CNN, and everything like that, or
You want to take that?
It's like we have cable, but I don't think we get NBA TV. Only I think they get it in Anchorage because they have DirecTV, but where we're from, we don't have DirecTV. All we have is like a GCI. That's the cable network. And I think we only have ESPN, ESPN2, and then they have games on TNT sometimes.
Okay, so you do get, like tonight,
Yeah.
opening night, you will get that game.
Yeah.
That game is going to be on up there. Okay. So as far as recruitment wise, now how does that work with him being up in Alaska? How does that hurt or help his recruitment, being that he is in Alaska and you don't get as many American games and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. I'm not too familiar with the recruitment process. I'm not up to speed, but what we've been trying to do, first of all, living in a remote area is very difficult. You're not going to find recruiters flying all the way to basically the top of the world to look for talent, especially when our high school has between 200 and 240 students. I don't think the numbers are there enough unless you really have some exceptional student athlete up there.
And what about distance for another school? How about that? Like the distance from, like if you're saying there's 250 at that particular school and that's the only school in your town, right? How far is, time or minutes, miles, whatever, to the next high school?
That'll be about 300 miles.
Wow.
Like 2 hour flight.
You got a flight there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no road system up to where we live.
So what about scholastically then, high school wise? So you guys don't play high school games?
We do. We just have to pay for everything, like flights down and where we stay and stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so for you, you know, again, that you came down and everybody, you know, people wanted to see your gauge against Mustafa and stuff like that today. Who, you know, Mustafa played in the Under Armour game, which was on ESPN. Tried out for the USA team, you know, he made the final 17. All right, so for you tonight, it didn't seem like you struggled against him. I don't know, what was your opinion of his game as well as your, you know, how you did against him? So.
I felt like I did all right. Like, he's really athletic and strong, so it's kind of hard to play defense against him and score on him. But I didn't want to go into the game thinking like we're gonna lose, or we did lose, but like they're just gonna mess us up. So yeah.
So what about for you, Dad? But, you know, being that you've seen him last year and now you've seen him coming into this year, how did you feel like your son played against him today?
You know, as far as strength-wise, it's no match. You know, I mean, you just look at their physical being, and it's a big difference at this point. And it was that way last year as well. You know, Kamako's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get to the level that Mustafa is at or is going. I think he did okay, and at the end, you know, we basically had a stronger player and an older player defending Mustafa.
Game-wise, he did.
Definitely, I think you know, towards the end of the game, you know, maybe some legs was going out, and Mustafa he played a
Came
little
in fresh.
well, not really fresh, but he was playing a little harder. You know,
No, but I'm saying he didn't really play the first half.
Yeah,
Right?
he didn't play. No.
Yeah, so he came in fresher than your
Yeah.
son, who was already, or most of those guys who already played almost the whole game.
I wouldn't use that as you know, as the reason why, but you know, I think he's okay. He did okay. You know, I think we all did as a group. We did okay compared to last year. I mean, last year we came out and
Last year you had a couple soccer players and surfers and stuff.
Yep.
This year you was like running plays and a lot more. The passes were more crisp and everything.
you know,
Looked like you
we
were
had a
running.
secret weapon with us.
Yeah. So for you, I'm going to ask you one question because I know we got the rest of you guys here too. What are some of the misconceptions that people have of Alaska that you might can clear up? Like, what's something that people you might ask and you be like, for real? You just asked me that?
Like, a lot of people from the lower 48 think we live in igloos and like ride pullovers to school and stuff. We have regular houses and we do have cars and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's like the main one.
Okay.
You know what's an igloo?
Yeah, the igloo is the ice block.
Okay.
Yeah. But is there any igloos in Alaska?
We build.
Or that's just an old thing from, you know?
They don't use it to live in, but they do build it for what do you call that? For tourists, you know, just to show. When we have tourists, there is tourists that come to Barrow, and so some residents they do build it. And I remember back when I went out on the ice, I know my wife works in the wildlife department, and their department actually built the igloo, stayed in the igloo out on the ice during the whaling season.
Whaling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can ask one of the kids about whales, they'll be able to help you with that one.
Okay. So I have a question for you. What is the average temperature in Alaska?
Average temperature, like for the winter, it's like 0 degrees, and then summertime it's like 36 to 40 maybe.
Wow. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you again coming down, and hopefully we can talk some more with you, and hopefully we can continue also with this relationship and coming down and building some stuff. I know Brian talked about possibly coming up, 1 year or whatever, a couple months, visit you guys and try to do some basketball camps. That I would love to come and get that experience and stuff like that. So, and then just to watch your growth and stuff like that. I think you can be a good player. You seem a little humble, and definitely down to earth. And I appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you.